Doing well. How are you guys?
Very good, thank you. Lovely and Christmassy
Yes,
looking.
thank you. Thanks. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So as she mentioned, I'm KB with Nerdophiles. Thank you so much for chatting with us. I
Our pleasure.
loved the show. So tell me a little bit about how the two of you kind of developed your off-screen friendship that really helped translate it on screen, because you guys are best friends in the show and truly like each other's ride or dies and also confidants. So tell me a little bit about how you guys developed that.
I think we were incredibly lucky because you either have chemistry with someone or you don't. You can't sort of manufacture that. But Claudia and I had met very briefly prior to Bridgerton through mutual friends, and she just makes an instant impact because she's just so beautiful and funny and bright. So, she made that impression on me that at that time. And then when I found out it was her playing Eloise, I was just thrilled because it couldn't have been anyone better. And then on screen, it's so much fun because when you're comfortable with someone, it gives you the freedom to play and to develop those characters. So I'm so glad it's her. I wouldn't want it to be anybody else in the world.
No, me neither. I think it's amazing that people are really picking up on the sort of, we've had so many people tell us that they like really adore the friendship, and I'm so glad. And like from what I've seen as well, it is a real reflection of just how easy it was for us to do that with each other. It was so easy, and that's obviously that fluid. It's the fluidity of it is shining on screen. That's really great.
Well, something else that I absolutely adore is just how each of your characters are just such strong women. A lot of the themes on the show obviously are around marriage and family, but we as women obviously we desire more, we want to be able to do more, but in that time period it's just a little tricky. And so what I love is how, kind of, even though, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say I love how each of you are really going after your own passions and the things that you really want out of life. So talk about the importance of just kind of seeing these very headstrong and brilliant kind of female characters on screen, and what the impact was for you guys playing these roles.
I think what's really refreshing about this show and about the scripts when you get them is these women are progressive and they don't sort of follow the rules in the way that you expect them to. And I think in period dramas, you do see a lot of very well-behaved women sort of doing the things you expect them to do, but Penelope and Eloise, they throw the rule book out the window. And I think they are their real true selves when they're together, because they're both sort of misfits in their families. Penelope's family being maybe not the most harmonious, and Eloise's family, on the other hand, being very harmonious, but she's sort of not quite a black sheep, but she certainly doesn't sort of follow the rules in the same way the rest of them do. But it's a fascinating dynamic to play.
Yeah, I would say Eloise's family is a bit more traditional than the Featheringtons, for sure. And so just for you, Claudia, like, how has it been, portraying Eloise? Because I do think she's brilliant. She's often the smartest person in the room, but in a lot of ways she's often silenced because she is a woman.
I think like when I think about women like now as well, there's sort of like this expectation as well to like achieve like massively, to the point where like that's like a massive pressure now, like of this like gotta do everything, like and I'll be like doing all sorts of stuff rather than like I think multitasking is like massively overrated anyway. I think we should probably just focus on one thing at a time. And I guess Eloise and Penelope have the benefit of that youthfulness to just focus on what they want, not have any sort of pressure of like doing too much, whilst they've got this sort of outer influence of doing what's expected. So they're sort of brilliant in more ways than one. Like, and for Eloise, I kind of think of her and Penelope as sort of being the feminist narrative, sure, but like I guess they're the ones that hold the megaphone of it a bit, because they're as close to the audience as you're going to get, I reckon. But again, because of how well it's written, because of Shonda, because of Chris Van Dusen and the incredible team that's in charge of it, that sort of spirit is peppered throughout the show. Like, do you know what I mean? Like throughout all the characters, of what's expected from them. Having a dukedom that you don't want, or being the head of a house when your father passed, like, which is no responsibility for anyone to immediately take on. So I think, me and Nicola say, like, people that even patriarchy looks like it's working for, it's not working for them. Like, so it's like, that's what I think it shows. And whilst I'm grateful that me and Nicola get to be like the sort of explicit voice of that, I reckon it's actually sort of really beautifully weaved within the whole piece.
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Well, thank you guys so much for chatting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kay. It was lovely to talk to you.
Thank you. So nice
Lovely
to meet
talking
you.
to you guys too.
Take
Nice to meet you too.
care.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
You guys